Alright, some people ask me, how do you have this badass warden? Let me tell you, it's not badass, but it is pretty fucking raw looking like, because, the white accent actually makes the white iron actually makes it stick out with this black armor set, which is pretty badass in my opinion, but it's hard to actually find a good armor set for Warden because he does not have that many customizations because Ubisoft said fuck you. But for the helmet, obviously it's gonna be Actium, just because Punisher skull, badass, right? Right. For the chest, it's gonna be an Actium as well, just to get that white accent. Personally, I don't like the chest plate, just because of shit under it. Ew. But it just matches well. And then the arms are Actium as well. It gives it a nice little white accent. The same as the helmet, the chest piece. Cool shit, blah blah blah. But then for the head, there is going to be no embossing, no paint pattern, no symbol. Shoulders, only for the right shoulder. Left shoulder you can do it too. But for the right shoulder, I just have the cursed pyramid, just to make sure it covers the whole thing, to give it something different. Right shoulder, nothing. Absolutely nothing. But for the back, you're going to want the bars and diamond when it's white, just to give it that little 5-string line thing combo wombo. To make it a little badass. You can put whatever you feel like. Well, that's pretty badass too, actually. But in my personal preference, this gives the top part of the upper waist something cool, and the back part is just standard white. I like the little damaged and worn look. But for the colors, it is going to be the Winter Woods white on white black. For the material color, it is going to be white. Other preferences, you can do yellow. That sticks out the most as well. And the only other color besides yellow and white that sticks out is probably going to be the seawater, or the purples and the pinks. But in personal reference, yellow and white are going to be your best friends. Usage is going to be for all. Alright, so for the loadout number 2 for the Godly Warden, Heavenly Apprentice is what I like to call it, is going to be the Gabriel's Zinth helmet. Nice gold white texture to it. The chest piece is going to be the Lion's Heart, just because this is like the only chest piece with pretty much gold that just matches it perfectly, in my personal opinion. For your arms, it's going to be the Executioners, just because you're big and bulky, makes your guy look badass, And for the material, white iron. Black iron makes it look cool, so does the tar, but white iron just makes it pop. For your left shoulder, your left shoulder, nothing. You don't want anything on it. Right shoulder, same thing, nothing. But for your back, Heat Waves 1. Gives a nice little scratch marks looking like, to make it, not just something plain on your back, makes it pop, just Heat Waves. Or not Heat Waves, yeah, Heat Waves. Oops. But for your legs, pretty much anything that can make it all white, but that is your personal preference to make it pop. I used the Winter Grass just to make it all white, but for your embossing, I have the Victorious Knight. Gives something skull look, something different there, just instead of plain white. Color is going to be the same as the first guy, Winter Woods. And for your ornament, Iron Worm. Hands down, makes it look so badass. You can use this too, but you don't want a broomstick on your head. For your sword, this is all 100% custom made sword. There is pretty much nothing like it. It's all 100% custom made. You're gonna have to make it yourself. So you're gonna want to use a Divine Right blade, which makes it pop black and gold. The Death Glares hilt, and the Unwaking Nightmare's Guard, or Nightmare's Guard. The only other hilt that I find best that works with this is let me find it. Oh, actually, damn, where did it go? Is this right here? This will match it better too, but in my personal preference, the Unwaking Nightmare God it will look at best. We have the Crusader Knight. Personally, overused. It looks cool and all, but it's just overused a lot by a lot of wardens. But for your helmet, it's going to be the Constellator helm or the Chimera Constellator helm, because this is the only helm that's actually like a refurbished version of this very default helmet you get that actually makes it, you know, more slicker. For your chest piece, it's going to be the Vengeful Investigator to give it that nice little silver but also worn look. And for your arms, it's going to be the Chimera Constellator arms, just to give it a nice refurbished but still worn look, same as the helmet. For your headpiece though, nothing for the paint pattern symbol, but the embossing you're on with the Victorious Knight, because if not, plain as fuck, looks ugly as shit. You want a skull on it. Now the only other skull that I actually have found that works good with it too is this one, the Rigor Mortis, but that's just personal preference. Your right shoulder is going to be the vert line, just to give it a nice little, somewhat of a commander look, just to give it a nice little pop. And for your symbol and embossing and paint pattern, nothing. Your left shoulder is going to be the inverted triangle, but you can use the vert line as well, but my personal preference is gives the right shoulder a pop, more of a actual like a commander look. Right shoulder like you will see in the Clone Wars or something, but no symbol and embossing like that as well. For your back, vert line, but like I said, your personal reference, you can use whatever you like, your heart desires, but I just like the vert line to keep it simple and standard. But for your standards, aka your legs, thighs, whatever you want to call them, I used a cross. Gives it the actual Crusader look. Just makes it pop, you know? But the symbol, there's going to be no symbol. But for the embossing, I have used is the Rose of Harkos. It matches the lines pretty well. It gives it a nice somewhat pop, something that if they're looking at your legs, makes it, you know, hey, look, there's something on his legs. What is it? Oh, I don't give a shit. And then moving on, we're going to use the colors. It's going to be the red wine. That's the only color I've found that just matches it so well, just for the Warden look. And that is pretty much for Warden.
So I hope y'all like enjoyed that little fucking thingamabob I just did. I'm not really too good at it, but you know, before I did, here's a little fucking clip of me just absolutely humiliating this warmonger. I really do not feel bad, but I do at the same time. Ooh, that was a nice little deflect. You know. But I hope y'all enjoyed that little video I just posted for y'all. And, you know, if you want me to make this shit again, I'll just happily do it. Just ask. And peace out, y'all.